call upon a very dear friend, a very good friend of ours, a brother, a remarkable gentleman, a great performer, a great achiever, someone who inspires a lot in people to come and give us a talk. This is no other person than Mallam Nasir El-Rufai, former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory.
Baroness Choka, Chairman Professor Odidi, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we say in Nigeria, all protocols observed. When Isa began introducing who was going to speak, I for a moment thought he was referring to someone else, then he mentioned my name. But I thank you for your kindness. I've been asked to speak to you about the state of the Nigerian economy, strategic options. And I must begin with a couple of confessions. One is a piece of gossip that you'd like, and I'm happy I will say it before Baroness Choka leaves. And the other is an admission that I have not been to Nigeria since June 2008. I'm in a sort of exile. So I'm not sure I know how things are in Nigeria today. I can only speak within the context of the 9 years I spent serving two presidents, one military and President Obansajo, up until May 29, 2007, and the hopes we had then. The first gossip is to go back to April 2003. I don't know whether Baroness would remember, but I'm sure Roger would remember. When Baroness Choka talked about her links with Nigeria, she is being very modest at how deeply she is wed to our politics and our economics. In April 2003, I was the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, which is Nigeria's privatization agency. And at that time, we were not on speaking terms with President Obansajo. I was sure I was going to be fired. My tenure was not going to be renewed, so I had already made plans to go back to my private sector job. Then I got a call from Suraj Yakubu, who was the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Investment Promotions Commission, to say that President Obansajo has instructed him to buy tickets for me and Obi Ezekwesili to go to London and meet with Baroness Choka and Roger. And I thought that for someone whose boss doesn't talk to him, we had quarreled with Obansajo over Nigeria Airways. Those that were in Nigeria would remember. The privatization of Nigeria Airways was a big problem. Anyway, we came to London. I was surprised why I was asked to come to London with Obi, and we came and we sat with Baroness Choka. It appeared that President Obansajo had asked Baroness Choka's office to do some thinking about his second term. How would his second term be better than his first term to help in this process? And we were supposed to contribute to that. I don't know why the two of us were chosen to do so. I suspected Baroness Choka probably insisted that the two troublemakers of the administration at that time should come. Because if you can keep the troublemakers quiet, you see, the other 100 million will line up. That is how Nigeria works. So we came, spent a couple of days working on this document, and the result was Baroness Choka got Ngozi to be the Minister of Finance of Nigeria for 2003 to 2007, and that really changed a lot in the way Nigeria did business for those that lived in Nigeria at that time. So the Baroness is being very modest when she says that her links with Nigeria are this and that. I think she has done far more than most people I know to make Nigeria a better place, to put Nigeria on a path of sustainable growth and development. And we thank you. Now, you'll get more details of this when you read my book. I'm writing about all these stories. But I just thought I should mention this and use the opportunity to thank Baroness Choka, who has remained engaged and supportive of our country's efforts to attract investment. But where do we stand as a nation? I think most Nigerians agree that we have disappointed Africa, we've disappointed our population, we've disappointed ourselves in many ways. We have not realized our potentials. Nigeria has continued to be a country of unrealized potentials. And as we celebrate our 50th birthday, I think it is time for reflection. In my view, and I have spent 2.5 years after public service to think about this, in my view, the Nigerian economy suffers from 3 problems. We have a quantity problem, we have shortages of what we need, and too much of what we don't. I'll explain that in a moment. We have a quality problem. Some of the things we have are not of good quality. And then we have an attitude problem. And if you go across the spectrum of our issues, whether it is electricity, transportation, logistics, or the state of our schools or hospitals, you see these 3 problems in my view very clearly. Either too few roads, or inadequate ports, or not enough electricity. That's the quantity problem. And then we have 60% of our population below the age of 25. Very young population. Interesting demographics, which can be an opportunity but could be a problem. As Baron Strucker pointed out, unless we educate these young people, we are planting the seeds of problems and instability in the future. So we have this quantity problem. Then the quality problem, of course, you drive on the roads in Nigeria, you see what I mean about the quality problem. Even our GSM revolution, which has been fairly successful, suffers from this quality problem. On the other hand, we have too many people still writing scam letters. We have too many politicians with a sense of entitlement, as Engineer Eze would agree. And we have too many Nigerians, nearly 150 million of them, who sit back and expect that the country will get better by complaining in their living rooms and doing nothing. That God will come and intervene and just somehow give us electricity, give us roads, give us everything.
Divine intervention.
Yes. Okay. So we have too many of this. And then the attitude problem comes when you have the right quantity and quality of a good thing, but the attitude to it ensures that it is not properly managed. An example is this conference. Here we're supposed to start at 9, I think. 125 people registered. We have 30 people in the room, 2 hours or 1.5 hours after starting. So we have an attitude problem. And unless we address these 3 problems holistically, I think we'll continue 100 years from now to be a country of unrealized potentials. And by then, you know, the oil is finished. So we have to look for another racket. What are the options, really? I think we need to build more of whatever we need. And Baron Strucker has talked about that, and I'll come to that shortly. We need to build them better, and we need to manage what we build. This includes power stations and even the character of our people. We need to build